this is why I'm also on the Android side. It's so innovative compared to Apple. Apple has really fallen behind on innovation. Like, most of them haven't touched a flagship Android in years. What I'm going to say next is going to make some people super mad. I think smartphones got so good that they're already boring. I literally recently saw the S25 Ultra release. Like, I've been following smartphone reviews and tech reviews for almost 4 years already. And to be honest, smartphones are starting to get really boring for me personally. Like, there would be no reason for me, let's say, to get a S25 Ultra over S24 Ultra or S23 Ultra, by the way. You know, every year is the same shtick. Every year is the cameras. Every year, you know, cameras get better. And it's also this obsession with AI. It makes it even more boring, because most of us would like maybe use the AI features in the smartphone maybe like 2-3 times, maybe a week if I'm being generous. Like, we don't need AI on a daily basis the way they market it. And while this is good for innovation, I don't think AI is it. I honestly don't think AI is it. iPhone and Samsung really got boring. Like, they are no longer taking risks, from my own personal view. And the reason is because I followed also a lot of the Chinese competitors, flagships, and I actually saw more innovation on the Chinese ones. It's absolutely insane. I don't know if many people know about OnePlus, but lately OnePlus has been insanely good on innovation. Especially from the OnePlus 12 series, now it's at OnePlus 13. They developed something similar to NVIDIA DLSS on smartphones, which is a huge thing, because especially on Androids, the games are not fully optimized to match the performance. Because if you look lately, Snapdragon has swiped through the Bionics Apple chips in performance. The Android world doesn't take full advantage of that. It's like the Windows situation. So OnePlus developed something called Pixelworks 7, I think. And so what this basically does is, let's say you play a game. You play Wuthering Waves or, you know, Genshin Impact. And your smartphone is limited to 60 frames per second, and even the quality at the highest, because you have the latest flagship, you can't literally take full advantage of the processor, right, on the smartphone, because the graphics are a bit more teared down. So what Pixelworks 7 does is you could generate frames with it, just like NVIDIA DLSS, like from 60 frames to go to, let's say, 120 frames, which is insane basically, because Genshin and Wuthering Waves and a lot of these story games don't allow you to do that. But you also can increase quality, just like NVIDIA DLSS. Like, you guys don't realize how OP NVIDIA DLSS is. I actually tried it on Wuthering Waves, even on PC, and it's absolutely insane. And like, I think this is more important on smartphones than all these crazy crap useless AI things. I think people would actually take more advantage of the performance if they could take advantage of the performance. Also, Nothing Phone. Like, I think Nothing Phone is one of the coolest companies that ever came lately. I love the way they market their products. While I don't like Nothing OS that much because it's so monochrome, it's boring. And I know that, you know, their whole shtick is, we don't want you to spend too much time on your smartphone. I actually got the Nothing Phone for my sister, and I got it crazy cheap. It was like $300 for Nothing Phone OS. For Nothing Phone 1, it was like $300, and I got a good offer and a good discount on it. But you know, it's still insane. For Nothing Phone 1, you could actually buy it for like $300 if you're lucky enough. Also, Vivo. This smartphone wasn't marketed enough in the entire world, but it's literally better than S25 Ultra and iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, you can literally watch camera tests on both of them, and you're like, what is happening? Like, the Vivo, like the Chinese manufacturers really got good. They literally faked it till they made it. My next smartphone is probably gonna be a Xiaomi for a couple of reasons. I think it has a combination of both style and innovation. And I know people overlook on Xiaomis because they're Xiaomis and, you know, they're not iPhones, or Samsung. But the people that didn't try out Xiaomis, like most of them, they believe that it's like the Redmi, but they don't realize that Xiaomi also has like flagships and stuff. Also, another smartphone company that is really underrated right now is probably Motorola. Motorola has been going crazy ever since Lenovo bought them. They offered like the cheapest flagships, the cheapest budget smartphones, the cheapest mid-rangers, especially in Europe. Like, people don't realize that it's so cheap that it's so good. In a way that, you know, they offer flagship processors at a very good price. Like, at this point, Motorola has become the modern day Xiaomi. Not to mention, it has like stock Android. Not even it has more. It's more stock Android than on Pixel themselves. And it's one of the most underrated smartphones at the moment. People don't realize that. They fail to realize that Motorola has become so good at this. They became so underrated. They're sweeping under the radar. They also have like Motorola Ready for. I mean, I barely used it, but it can be useful if you, let's say, if you don't have a computer or a PC and you have schoolwork to do on a bigger screen. And there's literally like a whole docking station on it. And I know Samsung has developed that technology first, but they haven't developed it in like 5 years. This is why I'm also on the Android side. It's so innovative compared to Apple. Apple has really fallen behind on innovation lately. You know, I can't stand Apple ships coming with the argument that Apple is so innovative and it's such a good smartphone. Like, most of them haven't touched a flagship Android in years. Like, the software got so clean. Like S21, my dad has a S21, simple, a base model, and that thing got so good over the years. With the past updates, it got so fast. It's scary. Like, it's honestly scary. And also they offer, a lot of Androids offer like 7 years of updates. I don't know who keeps a smartphone for 7 years, but maybe there are people who do. But it's insane, by the way. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to me, and I'll see you in the next one.